Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2017. I almost said European Truck Sim. Farming Simulator 2017. Welcome back to Northstone Farm. So, got some equipment since the last episode. Trying to figure out how to do this. Well, first I got this potato harvester. Probably a little too big for the map, but it's from the Ropa pack, the Ropa DLC, and I really do like this one. I'm starting to realize all equipment is a little too big for this map. This is a map for very small equipment. I thought I was picking small equipment, not nearly small enough. So even though I've tried to downsize, it's not enough. I also got the IT Runner trailer, and I threw a flatbed on it. So there's one of our drills. This is the one that's too big to transport because of those arms, so it has to be hauled that way. And I also got the fertilizer unit for the front, and there are the pipes. So we're going to be using that soon. I also got, you remember I was on the fence about getting a rigid truck. Well, clearly we're no longer on the fence. I got the MAN, I got the short wheelbase with the AgroLiner tipper, and then I got a dolly AgroLiner. Nokian wheels on both. This is a great mod. They're made by, I believe, separate mod makers, but good quality work. I mean, Nokian tire is a Nokian tire, but dynamic hoses, really good looking mods. And I figured this is smart for us. It's got a short wheelbase, it can get around, and this right here is going to be shorter end to end than a tractor with a tipper. However, we do also need this, so I got this as well. And the other thing I did is, I can get here, right? The other thing I did is I went ahead, and we own all these fields now. They're all fertilized. What I want to do is head up to field 8, I believe. Yep. Field 8 has soybean stubble in it, and we're going to turn that under, and then we're going to go across the highway to field 9, which is grass, and we're going to turn that under and make that into a potato field. So let's start here first. We've got our 6R. Is that right? Yeah, this is our 6R. Yep, we've got our 6R with the front loader that we can't take off it. And we have our 6-meter Sapphire cultivator on the back. So let's take this up to field 8, put it on a worker, and let it start turning that field. And then we'll run across the highway and get in the 7R that has the 3-meter, I believe, 3-meter, 4-meter Sapphire Cultiplow on it, and we'll turn that grass under. And that we'll probably have to do ourselves, because Courseplay really doesn't like to recognize the edge of a grass field. Now it's better because this is grass as a crop and not meadow grass, but it's still a little tricky, but no big deal. So go back here. I don't know why this keeps opening. I know I reduced the dead zone on some of my joysticks and gamepads, and I feel like I need to make it a little bigger. Like it's a little too small. All right. So let's set up Courseplay. So we're going to do field work. Field 8. 6-meter. Start here, automatic. 2 headlands afterwards. Way. There it is. That was easy. So as always, we'll stay here just for a minute, make sure everything's going okay. And this is also the first time we've used Courseplay, so we'll need to set some speed limits. Let's say, for cultivating, let's say 9 miles an hour. 3 miles an hour for the turns. Yep. Start from the first waypoint, which is right there, and stop when you're done. Well, that lighting, I don't know if that lighting is LED or xenon, but that's pretty. I think that's a nice effect. Moment. Where's our 6R? 120 horsepower for the Harrow. And our 6R has 250. It is more realistic, though, and more realistic is pretty, I don't want to say relentless, but more realistic does not have much sympathy. Let's see if we are even remotely on track. Yeah, we're doing okay. Four-wheel drive is locked in. Let's give it some time. Let's give it a few cycles to sort itself out. But yeah, more realistic is, it's a good mod, and I try to only use MR tractors and MR implements, but it's pretty unforgiving, I have to say, and it's not everyone's particular brand of vodka. Yeah, I still have a cold, still have the flu. Not sure if you can tell. And in fact, that rigid truck, the MAN truck we got, is also MR. So I think we'll try to keep the entire farm MR. Okay. So downhill they do all right. Fantastic. Right. So let's run over the hill and get in the 7. And we'll turn that grass under. And I'll show you something else on the way through. Now, the reason the MAN is kind of pulled out in the middle of nowhere there is I'm not sure where to put it yet. And I think that tipper can probably go on the other side of the map. If I can find some storage space somewhere, I'll probably put that trailer away and just keep the rigid truck. I got a couple other things as well. I got a front loader for the 7810. Then I got these two, I don't know what you want to call them, platforms. This is definitely a platform. This is Flegel. Well, it's got the texture coming through it, but that's a Flegel platform. And this is a Sapphire. It's like a small bucket, but you can also convert it to a platform. It's fantastic if you just have a small, like if you want to take, I don't know, take some pig food out to the pigs. And it's loose. I mean, if it's a pallet, you can put it on that pallet platform. If it's loose, you can put it in the bucket. I also got a John Deere S650, which if you looked at our bank balance, we have 90,000 pounds down from 2 million. And we still have, there's so many things we need to buy. We need to buy a cereal header and a trailer for the S650. We need to buy a corn header. We need to buy a cereal seed drill. We need to buy a loading wagon, and we need to buy a baler. No. I haven't turned off tabbing between vehicles, so there's going to be some of that. Right. This is not a plow, so I'm not worried about going over the edge of the field. Here we go. Yep. So we're going to turn this grass under. We're going to make this a potato field, since we have potatoes next door. And then next to this are fields 1 and fields 3. Yeah, I know I'm getting terrible overlap here, but I want to make sure I get the grass all the way out to the edge of what I can turn under. So right next to us here on the mini map, you can see we've got field 1 and field 3. And they are awfully small. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with them. It would make sense because we've got potatoes in field 17, and we're going to put potatoes in field 9, the one that we're turning right now. It would make sense that fields 1 and 3 would be potatoes also. My concern is getting that Ropa potato harvester into, right? Those are awfully small. Awfully small. I'm not sure. But I feel like this map is made for such small equipment, and I've already purchased equipment that's probably far too big for this map. So it's our entire time on this map is just going to be trying to make the equipment work. So part of me thinks, you know what, let's just put potatoes in there and we'll make it work somehow. But I mean, I'm pretty sure the Ropa will fit through there. Yeah, I don't know. We'll do it. We'll put potatoes in there. In fields 1 and fields 3. And then this will just be our potato area. And I also bought, I'll wait till I'm done with this first headland and we'll put this on a worker. Maybe we'll do 2 headlands, give them a little room to work. But I wanted to show you, I bought all the fields in this. I'm thinking of it as kind of a block of land, but it's all the fields sort of bounded by the highways and farm roads. And a couple of them are grass fields, like this one that I want to turn under and make into crop fields. So we'll need to do that as well. But I think this might be, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take to finish this field with this 3-meter cultivar. Probably a while. So what I might do is do another headland, put it on a worker, then we'll run over and check on field 8. See how things are going, and I don't know. We can cut it off whenever. Alright, lock in the hubs. A lot of mod makers use spacebar for their IC. This mod maker uses left shift, and I have left shift assigned for a lot of other key combinations, so every time I hit left shift it turns the IC on for this tractor, and then I have to remember to turn it off. Not a big deal. Right. So I think the rigid truck, it really doesn't belong on this map. It's too big, it's too expensive. It's not, I really don't think it's the kind of equipment you would see on a farm this small. But somehow it works. So we're going with it. And I think this is it as far as equipment. We still need some implements. We need our cereal crop drill, we need our loading wagon. We need a baler. Is there one other thing we needed? Oh, we need headers for the S650. But I think this is probably about it, which is going to make this one of the least equipment intensive farms that I've ever tried to run. And I like big farms, but I like small farms too, and it's been a minute since I've done a small farm, so I thought this would be a fun one. I'm really liking this map so far. I'm definitely impressed with it. No complaints. I need to find where the water is. In fact, that might be what we do. We will get a little room for our worker to work here. And then we will go and find the water. And we'll need to decide if we want to drive to do that or if we want to teleport. Something to be said for both options. Right. So I'm going to let the worker cut just a few more headlands. So we want should trace off, on, to the left, right? We need to hire a new employee. Who do we want to hire? Let's start with John. We will employ him. We'll go back here. John is available. Select John. Let's see how he does. All right, doing great, John. Fantastic. Right, so let's look at the map. And here's the BGA, down by the Rusty Nail. Valley Rock Farm. Grigson Farm. I'm guessing those are places where you sell things. Yep. Vallis Rock Farm. The Rusty Nail. BGA. Okay. Okay. Cool. Let's run across the highway. We'll get in the 7810. And we're looking for water. Let's look around the farm first. See if we can spot water. And then we'll hop in the 7810 and drive down to the BGA. And I think the 6 Series is making short work of that field number 8. So that will be done soon, I think. Right. Let's be methodical. We'll go clockwise. Nope. Seed and fertilizer. Fertilizer. Don't see it anywhere here. Haha. No, that's got to be milk. Okay. That's milk. This is our dairy operation. That's slurry. Now, I have seen mod makers use things like IBC tanks as the trigger for water. Right? You know what I mean? Because you can make anything a trigger. You can make nothing at all a trigger. I don't think water would be in here. That wouldn't make any sense. A trigger is a trigger. It doesn't have to have a map object associated with it. So I've seen map makers make anything into an indication that this is where you get water. So this is fuel, as far as I know. Or is this water? Because when I put my... Aha! What do you think? Let's get in the... Yeah, I think that was my mistake. No, that's a fuel tank. Okay. So this is fuel. And then I put my... but that's a problem. Here's your problem. Your numbers are all floaty. I put my def tank right there, but I need to obviously slide those numbers back. I'm not sure how those got there. Okay. So it's not there. I don't think it would be here. And I do see that warning that the 6R is slipping. I don't think it would be there. No. Back here. Back here. I'm accidentally picking up eggs. Right. Let's go get the 6R sorted out. And looks like the 7R has stopped as well, so we'll do both of those, and then I think we'll call it an episode. I'll look for water off camera. And I'll fix those numbers. Sorry about that. Oh, game. Right. Let's run up to the 6R. And you know what? I bet the front loader's caught on something. Would not surprise me. I wish I could take that front loader off. I'm tempted to sell it now that we have the other one. But it's a good looking front loader. And there's no reason we wouldn't use it. Aha. Right. You are just not giving up, are you? Right. So, you stop. And I'll just knock this out. I'll just knock this out manually. Lock in some four-wheel drive. There we go. Oh, does not want to make that turn. Let's see if we can get up this hill. If we can't, what I'll do then is come at it from the top of the hill. I know this is probably not the way that you would go about cultivating a field like this, but try to play realistically within the limitations of the game. Game doesn't always cooperate. And I see that the 7 stopped as well. So I'll finish this field, and then I'll finish up what the 7 is working on off camera. I'll find water off camera. I'll do all kinds of stuff off camera. Right. Well, it's not pretty, but we're getting it done. And I think when we get down to the end here, we're going to need to lift the cultivator and go back up to the top of the field, top of the hill, and come at it from top to bottom. That's that more realistic. And you know, going to the MR page and reading about what the mod maker did and why, it really is, I guess, a very realistic mod. And for me, I guess it sort of demonstrates or illustrates or whatever, like how hard it is to drive a tractor, how hard it is to be a farmer, and why the tractors flip over and the equipment gets broken. Like it's not like driving a car. So it's, you know, for that mod maker to make something that kind of captures that. Come on now. Come on. Come on. We're moving just very, very slowly. Come on. And I feel like, well, I was just talking about realism, but obviously if we were doing this, we would just be digging 4 holes in the field and burying our tractors. So this is probably not terribly realistic, but we're going to make our turn here in a second, head down the hill. There we go. Just had to break it loose. Twice. Don't get the front loader stuck in a hedge. Perfect. Yeah, I'll take care of that stuff off camera. And next episode we will be doing a little bit more drilling and maybe turning one more field, turning under the grass, and getting it ready to plant as well. Try not to rip out the hedge. There you go. All right, do one more pass or call it? Let's call it. It's been a good episode. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farm Simulator 2017. We'll see you next time. Take care now.